Good evening, everyone. Welcome to today's Precious Derrick Talk show. I'm so excited about today because what a better way to start 2025, but to talk about health, fitness, well-being, sleep, everything that's going to make you healthy in 2025. But before we start, I want to know who has joined us and who is watching, and I want to know where you're watching from. So if you're joining us or if you've joined us, please let me know where you're watching from so I can say hello to you and say thank you for joining. Welcome, 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 welcome everyone on Facebook. While you guys are joining, I'm just going to go live on Instagram. Instagram is live. Yes, and now we are live. Hello, Instagram. Yes, I've got another screen here for Instagram only because we learned from what happened last week. Last week, Instagram didn't do it for us. So I'm going to be doing like that when I'm talking. So bear with me if you join me um, on Instagram. Hi, Instagram. Thank you. Oh, yes. So I am going to add our guest very soon. Anyway, thank you for joining me. Please let me know where you're watching from. Let me know if you can hear me loud and clear. Please let me know as well before I start talking and not realizing that I was talking to myself all this while. Let me know in the comment section, please, if you can hear me loud and clear. Let me know. And if you do, also please can you share as well to invite your friends and invite your loved ones because it's very important to talk about our health and our well-being. While you do that, I'm waiting for you. While you do that, I'm just going to introduce our show for today. So I'm sure you can hear me. I'm sure you can see me. I'm sure that everything is working perfectly. Instagram, can you hear me? Can you see me? I hope you guys are okay. Thank you for joining. Thank you for coming on today's show. So, when it comes to health and well-being and fitness, people always think that you have to hit the gym, and when you go to the gym, you have to literally try all of the equipment. People think that you have to eat a certain kind of food. People think that you have to have a particular kind of portion. People also think that it's something that um you have to act a certain way to be fit, to be well, to be healthy. So we've got someone on today's show who is going to be talking to us about fitness, about health, about well-being, about everything that will make you a healthy person in 2025. So I'm just going to bring out straight away so we can get the show going. But please invite your friends, invite people, share. I'm going to let Facebook know as well. Share, and let people know that we are live on Facebook, we are live on Instagram, we are live everywhere. Right, let me bring my guests on the show. Hello, just hang on, let me. I think I did something. I need to make sure that you are ready to speak. Hi, ABC, can you hear me?
Hi, Precious. I can hear you.
Okay, thank you so much for joining today's, and thank you for coming to speak to us about this very important topic. We're going to talk about so many things. We're going to talk about different angle, come from different angle, and also bust some myths that a lot of people have been believing for a very long time about health, well-being, and all of that. I'm going to add you as well on Instagram. Yes. Yes, let me add you on Instagram. If you can accept, that would be amazing.
Mm, yeah.
We're just trying to sort Instagram out, guys. If you can accept that, if you want me to do it again, let me know and I can do it again. Accept, go live with you. Let me see. Yep.
Yeah, I've not got up my end. I actually
Have you not
sent it.
seen it?
No, I haven't. I think there's a.
Okay, let me see. Sent a request to join the video. Okay, I have seen that. I have requested for you to join. Okay. I'm not sure why it's not coming. Okay, while we do that, put an eye on that. Maybe it's going to come at some point.
Okay.
Or do you know what I'm going to do? I think the best way is to. I've invited you actually. He said I've invited you. Maybe it's going to come later. I'm not sure why it's not coming.
Okay,
But
that's
let's continue. All right, Yemisi, who are you? Who is Yemisi? When it comes to health, fitness, well-being, and all of that, who are you? Just introduce yourself, blow your trumpet, make it as loud as you can. Who is Yemisi?
Thank you very much, Precious, and it's a pleasure to be on your show. My name is Oluwayemisi Adumi Femi Pius. I'm a wife. I'm a mother of two amazing children, and I'm a medical doctor. But I'm also work as a project manager, and I'm extremely passionate about health and fitness, and I am a health and fitness coach. So my journey into health and fitness, dates back to a long time ago, some 20, 25 odd years. And interestingly, it came from my mother. So my mom, we had five children, and then we had a brother, and then he died. And after the death of my brother, my mom just kind of channeled her grief, you know, into health and fitness. And I think for us, it was just, we just saw that model and everybody just kind of followed suit. So that was how I entered into health and fitness, even though I was in training as a medical doctor. But yeah, that was how I entered into health and fitness.
Wow, that's amazing. A lot of times, right? People tend to find themselves doing stuff that something like this get motivated from grief, from losses, from most times from their personal experience. I
Yeah.
rarely see people who get motivated to do stuff based on other people's experiences, but it's mostly within the family. That's amazing to actually know that that's where your motivation is coming from. I guess the question I was going to ask is why over 40 though? Why do you specialize? I know that you talk about other areas. Why do you specialize on women or people over 40?
Thank you very much. I happen to be in that age bracket. That's the first thing. So I'm 45. I turned 45 last year, October. But I also am very passionate about that particular age group because based on the changes that we experience in our body, once we're approaching 40, things are a bit different, especially for women. We begin to enter what we call the perimenopausal age. That's you're approaching menopause. And some women actually enter menopause in their 40s. My mom entered menopause at 47. And just in case you don't know, the age at which your mom, started menopause is a strong indicator of when you are going to start menopause. So you're probably going to start menopause around the age which your mom, commenced menopause. And perimenopause and menopause comes with its attendant changes that a lot of women are not prepared for. So many women find that, oh, the things they could do in their 20s and in their 30s and get away with it, they come into their 40s and they're wondering what is going on. This is the same me. I could do this before. Why am I experiencing some of these feelings? Why is it difficult for me to lose weight? Why do I feel like I have no energy? Why am I so tired? Why am I anxious? Why am I depressed? So these are some of the symptoms that women experience in their 40s. And just because I can relate to that to them, I can relate with that. I think that has, and I've gone through some of those things before. And I think, yeah, I want to help women so that they can know that even though you are in your 40s, you can still be strong, you can still be healthy, and you can still be fit.
Yeah, okay. I know that this is not a conversation about menopause. I've just switched off the live video on Instagram. I'm going to try it again and see if we can invite it because it looks like it's not recognizing the invite. I know this is not a conversation about menopause. And please, if you're a guy watching, don't run away. This is just a 2 minutes 2 minutes clarification I want to get. Did you say that if your mother started menopause, let's say at 40, there's a likelihood that you're going to start menopause about same time? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, yes, there's a link. Not automatically, but for some women that notice that they're experiencing some symptoms, maybe early menopause, and they're like a bit worried.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes when they have conversations with their mom, and their mom said, "Oh, at this age, that I experienced this as well." So like, oh, so you're kind of like, rest assured, it's normal for you. Some people are actually experiencing menopausal symptoms as early as in their late 30s.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's noted. Very important, noted. But I was going to ask, okay, what's the link? Menopause, fitness. Can
Okay.
you bring it together, please?
Yes. So for women, our own hormones as women, our main hormone is estrogen. And so that is what is responsible for our menstrual cycle, for our monthly periods. So, but as you begin to approach the age of 40 and around that period, your level of estrogen starts to reduce. Now, a lot of organs in your body actually have estrogen receptors. And so these organs are actually, the functions of the body are actually augmented by the presence of this very powerful hormone. So as the level begins to reduce, you begin to experience some things like insulin insensitivity. What do we mean by that? It means that the way in which your body utilizes glucose is not as efficient as before. So, for example, you could eat a particular portion of meal and you don't even notice anything. All of a sudden, it looks like I didn't change the quantity of food I'm eating, but I seem to be adding more weight. Why is that? Also, as the estrogen level begins to go down, you begin to lose muscle mass. So you are not as strong as you are. You begin to lose bone mass. All these things as a result of your estrogen levels going down. And so you realize that at this stage, women notice that, oh, when they want to climb stairs, it's a bit difficult. Things they used to do, they can't do anymore. And they're wondering what's going on. And a lot of people say, oh, it's associated with age, is because you're aging. I like this saying that says, the reason why you don't exercise is not because you're aging. The reason why you're aging is because you don't exercise. So I just wanted to drop that there.
Um, it's amazing what you just ended with. The reason why you're aging is not because you're not exercising, or the reason why you're aging is because you're not exercising.
So a lot of people say,
Wow.
oh, I can't exercise because I'm aging.
Because I'm old.
Yes, old. But you're
Okay.
actually, that experience of being old is because you are not exercising.
Mm-hmm.
Just to buttress the fact that exercise in when you're getting older is more important in your 40s than when you were younger. Because when you were younger, you had your muscles, everything was fine, your metabolism was up, so you could get away with a lot of things. You had a lot more energy. Now, as you're getting older, talking about the level of estrogen coming down, it affects other areas of your life, including your energy levels, including your fitness. So you need to be aware that, oh, at this time of my life, I need to get serious with health. I need to take fitness seriously because I can't get away with the things I could get away with when I was much younger.
Wow. It's amazing though what you've just said now, because honestly I've never heard this before. As well, like, let me not brag, but as educated as I am, I've never actually heard that it's more important to well, I know it's more important to be healthy like when you get older, but I didn't know that it's more important for you to be fit, go to the gym. Okay, if it's more important to go to the gym when you're over 40 because exercise helps with aging, are there specific kind of exercises, let's start with the other side, that if you're over 40 you should not do? If you're over 40, do not do this type of exercises.
No. So there are no
Okay.
exercises that you can do because you're over 40. And just to say that exercise is not only limited to the gym. And I think I want to make that clear today. You can exercise anywhere. I have not been to the gym in the last 6 months because I moved location, and my current location, the nearest gym is quite a distance. I usually prefer to walk to my gym and come back. But this particular gym, I have to drive. So I decided to change my exercise approach and work from home. But what is more important is that when you are older, the type of exercises you should focus on kind of changes. You can do any form of exercise. However, one particular exercise that you must focus on is strength training. Remember, I said your estrogen level starts to go down and you start to lose muscle mass. So you need to strength train. That means you need to build those muscles so that you don't continue to lose them. If you don't do anything, in a decade, everybody lose about 10% of their muscle mass. So between 30 to 40, you lose 10%, 40 to 50, you lose 10%. So imagine by the time you are 60, 70, and you have not done anything. That's why people that are in their old age and depend on people, they are not dependent on people because of the chronic conditions they have. Maybe they are hypertensive, diabetes. They are dependent on people because they've lost all energy, they've lost all fitness, they've lost all strength. So they need help with standing up, with sitting down, with moving around, with feeding, and all those basic things. It's because fitness has not been prioritized. It's because they feel maybe they're much older, there's no need to do all these kind of exercises. But once you are 35 and above, you need to prioritize strength training as part of your exercise routine.
Wow. Okay, strength training. We're going to go into the details of strength training. So I go to the gym. Let me just paint a scenario. I go to the gym, and there's the treadmill. There's the rolling. What do you call it? The one you roll like you're rolling the
Rower,
thing in. Yeah, there's the one that you climb like mountain climbing. The
yes.
the stepping one. If you know
Yeah.
what I mean. I don't know what they're all called. There's the one that you. So there's the weight lift. There's so many types. Let's assume that I'm just using the gym now because most people can relate with the gym, and of course you can bring it home. What are the specific types of strength training exercise? Because I know there's the cardio and there is strength training, but we want to focus on the strength training. Before EMBC answers that question, please, if you're watching, I would like you to please share. There's a link I've just posted on the comment section. If you want to join in the conversation, please click on that link. You would come straight and ask your questions, or you can also ask your question on the comment section as well. Please, this is going to be an interactive section. It's going to be so much fun. So any questions that you have around health, fitness, over 40, muscles, strength training, all of that, you have a free consultation class live to ask that question. After now, for you to do anything with EMBC, you're going to have to pay for it. So enjoy this freebie that you have this evening. Okay, so let me know, what are the kind of strength training exercise that one need to do when you hit that age?
Okay. So the first thing I want to say is that for people that want to venture into health and fitness or exercise, it's always good to have a plan. Most people just go to the gym, like you said, and they just jump on the treadmill for 10 minutes, drag the rope for another minute. That's not the best approach. You will not see any results. Now, strength training exercises are exercises that target your muscles. They're also called resistance training, in which you have to lift, you have to push, you have to pull, all those kind of exercises. Cardio exercises raise your heart rate. So there are ones that are really targeted for endurance. That being ability to to endure. So things like rowing, cycling, treadmill. Those are all cardio exercises. Strength training exercises, also called resistance exercises, are exercises that train your muscles. So lifting of weights using dumbbells, lifting barbells, lifting weights. There are different machines. So there are machines that target your upper body, different muscles in your upper body, different bodies in your lower body, your core muscles, and all the muscles of your body. So when you go to a gym, the best approach is approach the people in the gym. They are trained personal trainers. For you to work in a gym, you have to have been certified. So they can actually tell you the kind of exercises that you should do, and they will show you how to do them. And it's for free. Once you have a gym membership, it's different from having a one-on-one session with a personal trainer. Those ones come with a fee. But you can approach them gym and say, please, these are my goals. I want to, for example, lose belly fat, or I want to lose some weight, or I just want to be stronger, or I just want to be fit. So based on your goals, they will now say, okay, how many times a week you should be doing, the kind of exercises you should be doing, how many reps you should be doing, and in what order you should do them. They would come up with a plan. So always have an exercise plan. Either you are getting one from the your personal trainer in the gym, there are apps out there that can help you to develop a work plan, or you have a coach that also helps you. But just going into the gym and winging it will not get you the result that you desire. So a lot of people say, I go to the gym, but what exactly are you doing in the gym? Do you have a structured plan? Or you're just jumping into every exercise class? They're having classes here. I like this class. I like Zumba. They are fine. I'm not saying don't join those classes, but join those classes with a plan in mind. Get your gym instructors to develop a plan for you, and they always have those plans available for you that you can follow and tailor to suit your fitness goals. That's the best approach.
Okay, what if I don't have a goal? I just want to be fit.
Okay?
I just want to be strong. I don't want to lose anything because I like the weight I am at the moment. What do I do? That's one question. The other question is for someone who don't have money to pay for a personal trainer and a coach or something. How do they go about finding the right exercise for themselves?
Okay. So if you don't have a goal and you just want to maintain your size, that's also a goal. So there's maintenance, there's weight loss, there's weight gain, there's sculpting, there's muscle building. So the fact that you want to maintain is also a goal. However, remember I said that if you are 35 and above, you start to lose muscle mass. So even though you want to maintain the size you are, in sense, the older you are, your muscles are depleting. So you can't really say you want to stay at that where you are right now. You have to be doing something. If not, your muscles will start to go down. So even if it's maintenance that you want, there's always a plan for that. Make sure that you are exercising your upper body. Make sure you're exercising your lower body. Make sure you're exercising your core. Make sure you're exercising, the different parts of the body. Like I said, you need to talk to someone. They will need to look at you and find out some information. Have you had any surgery in the past to design the kind of exercise you would need? Do you have any pain? Some people have knee pains. Some people have ankle pain. So there's some kind of exercises that you will not recommend for somebody that has knee pain, or somebody that has ankle pain, or somebody that has shoulder pain, or somebody that has had back surgery. So we kind of tailor it to everybody. So it's not like a one cap fits all. Yeah, there are exercises, there are general exercises. Principle is target the different muscle groups in your body. However, it will be suited to you. Now, if you do not have money to go to the gym, you do not have money to engage personal trainer, there are unlimited resources out there. Well, I would say be mindful, because you can just go on YouTube and say, I want a plan. But I think if you can you can search around, you should be able to find, just Google structured plan for weight loss. Something that's kind of a system that you can follow. Mind you, these are general plans without any consideration for your own peculiarities. So approach it with caution.
Okay, we have an uncle called Uncle GPT, right?
Yes.
And I that this uncle is very good. I can just go there and give this uncle a bit of information about myself,
Yeah.
and say, oh, I'm this kilogram, and I'm looking to lose this kilogram, and I'm 40 years old, and all the information I need. That uncle is so good that he can give us a plan.
Yeah.
It may not be like Yemisi said, a targeted plan, but because you've given this uncle all of your personal information, like in a generic way, obviously, not your name and all of that, but this uncle will be able to give you a kind of structure that would help you. And I think you can start from there. This is just me advising you. I don't know, do you think that's a good thing, Yemisi?
So no any form of exercise is better than none at all. So
None.
yes, I agree with you. Any strength training is also better than no strength training. So if you want to start with ChatGPT, I won't say don't do that. But you can, when it comes to ChatGPT, because there's a way you interrogate it. So you don't take the first output as the final one. So you begin to query it and you get better results there. But like I said, it's not it shouldn't be very difficult for you to go on YouTube. I think YouTube, there are a lot of fitness experts out there. Most uninteresting, most of them are targeting men. That's the truth. But there are some that target women. So you could check them, and then maybe at the end of the message I will share my contact. Just message me if you want me to. Just to give you a guide on what to do. That one will be for free. Don't worry. You don't have to pay.
Oh, thank you so much for that. Okay, so if you want consultation, right, you have to, I'll share Yemisi's contact, but you have to tell her that you're coming from Precious.
Yes.
If you don't say you're coming from Precious, she's going to charge you. So you have to say you're coming from Precious. I saw the show on the other day, and you mentioned it, and I want to just get like 20 minutes or 10 minutes call, depending on how many minutes she does her consultation, then she can help you. Now let's just paint another scenario. I don't know anything about exercise. I don't know anything about diet. I don't know anything about sleep. I don't know anything. All I just do is I wake up in the morning, I eat, I go to work, I come back. I sometimes go for walks just because I feel a bit too full. For someone who doesn't have an idea about fitness, health, well-being, all of that, how would you advise that person end to end?
Okay. So I like the fact that you mentioned like the core 3 pillars of health and fitness. There are sub pillars under it, but the most important one really Depending on your goals, I will start with nutrition. A lot of people, obesity is a lot of 2 billion people are affected by obesity in the world, and it has been estimated that by 2035 that number is going to increase to half of the population. So obesity is real. In the US, obesity, I mean, and other developed countries, obesity has been recognized as a chronic condition that is treatable. So we need to be aware that when it comes to nutrition, you need to take it seriously. A lot of people are struggling with a lot of conditions because of their food. So the first is that be aware of what you are eating. Know how much you are eating. A lot of people say, I don't eat much, but when you ask, nobody can tell you exactly what is eating, what they are eating. There's something called mindful eating. Even when you want to eat this food, ask yourself, am I eating for nutrition? I'm eating for taste. Now, if you don't know anything about nutrition, focus on whole foods, nutrient-dense foods. Whole food means foods that are in their natural state, the state at which God has made those food, as close as possible. So we know rice. When we know white rice is polished, but we know brown rice. We know potatoes. We know yam. We know carrots. We know vegetables. These are fruits that are in their original position. We know chicken. You know fish. You know shrimps. You know salmon and all those things. So focus on whole nutrition foods. Make sure you are eating them with your vegetables. Make sure you are eating enough proteins. Make sure you are eating enough fiber. So if you don't know anything, if you focus on that and limit processed food, some people tell you, oh, it doesn't matter, calorie is the same thing, calorie is the same thing. However, the quality of calorie is also important. If you are drinking ice cream every day, that is processed food. That is not whole food. Yes, even if you take one bowl of ice cream because you are saying, okay, I don't want to eat more than 1,000 calories, the process of making the ice cream comes with a lot of attendant additives, chemicals that you are putting into your body outside of the food, and these have impact on your health. There's something called visceral fat. A lot of people say, oh, I'm slim, but when they do what we call a DEXA scan, you can see fat, visceral fat, that is fat inside your belly, in the organs. It doesn't show outward for some people. So they will tell you, I look good, but when you do a scan, you see that they have visceral fat, which is primarily from processed foods. So if you don't know anything about food, make sure you are eating food in their natural state and possible. Limit sugar as much as possible. I know a lot of people have sweet tooth, but please, if you want something sweet, take fruit instead. At least it will still satisfy that craving. So if you don't know anything about food, that is it. For sleep, sleep is one of the most underrated health and fitness pillar, because a lot of people feel they can cheat sleep. However, sleep is not only rest, it's also recovery. Sleep is when your body repairs all the damages that's happened during the day. So you need to prioritize sleep. Focus on 7 to 9 hours of sleep every day. And you will not, it's not about catching it up in the weekend. Because people say, don't worry, I will catch up. It doesn't work like that. You have to prioritize sleep. Exercise. What WHO recommends is that 150 minutes of exercise that raises your heart rate a week. So that's 30 minutes every day for 5 days, or 22 minutes every day for 7 days. Now, one part of exercise that people also overlook is movement. People say, I'm going to the gym, I've been to the gym this morning, then they sit down at their desk and they don't move. You actually don't burn much calories from exercise compared to movement. That is, activities that allow you to move, like walking, like doing even the chores, like laundry and all that, moving around. And a good indicator is the number of steps that you are taking. So if you don't know anything today, track the number of steps you are taking and aim, if you are a woman, between 8 to 10,000 steps every day. I'm not saying start with 8,000, but that should be your goal. So for example, let's say you are starting at 4,000. Most people, your phones will show you, if you have iPhone, because most people carry their phone on them. If you had 5,000, that means you want to increase to 6,000 this week. Next week, 7,000, till you build to 8 to 10,000 on a daily basis. So steps, exercise, your nutrition, whole food, and then sleep 7 to 9 hours. If you don't know anything, at least you can take that away.
Thank you so much. Honestly, I don't even know if I need to look at. I've got so many questions from everything you've just said now, but let me just read a couple of comments. So Bethel said, "Hello, Precious. Glad to be here. Yeah, Missy, good to see you. Thank you so much, Bethel.
Good to
I
see you.
appreciate you
Odogu of
being here.
romance.
Yes, so I remember. I do know Bethel. We will talk. We will talk behind the scene because we cannot have our Odogu of romance
I
and
tell you.
publicly. Bethel is coming here to teach us how
Yes,
to
so
do it in the other room. Like,
yes.
we are going to discuss it in the way. We are not going to be saying Jerusalem, Judea, and all of that. We're going to go to the core of it. And people who know me know that Precious is one of the persons that talk about all of these things without being
Yeah.
shy at all. So if you don't know, I have a YouTube channel. Of course, if you're on YouTube, you're watching this. I have a page as well. Follow us on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook and on Instagram. We're going to sort Instagram out. Deo said something which I just need to read it. He said, "Thank you for having us. My question is, why my hunger pump will not let me whenever I start portion control?" Now, this is a genuine question, and I really appreciate you, Deo, for asking this question. Another thing I was going to ask with regards to this as well, if you can just add all of them together. A lot of people are fasting this
Yeah.
period. It's January, so people are fasting. There's that tendency for people to, you know what, I just fasted from morning till night, so I
Absolutely.
need to break. So I need to break with more breakfast, lunch, and dinner all in one go, right? Could you please just speak to people who are fasting now,
Okay.
and also speak to Dale's
Thank
question as well? Thank you so much.
you so much. Yeah, interestingly, I'm also fasting. I'm a member of the Redeemed Christian Church of God here in the UK, and so we're on 100 days fast. So yes, I can relate with you. I'm also fasting. Now, when it comes to fasting, a lot of people say, "Oh, I'm fasting," but they don't see any changes, maybe in their weight. That's because, like you said, you're eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and it's fine. What we're saying is that when you want to break your fast, prioritize whole and nutritious meal. There are food that make you satisfied, satiety, and that food is protein. So make sure you're eating protein with your meals. Make sure you're eating vegetables. So vegetables, they give you that volume effect, but they are low in calories. And then you can add your complex carbs. So more oftentimes when you check your plate of rice, you see huge portion of rice and then maybe small meat. We are saying reverse the order. Small portion of rice, plenty vegetables, and plenty protein. That way, you are still eating the food you want to eat, but you have changed the portions. If you want to eat swallow, small swallow, a lot of vegetable, you understand, and then protein. So we're saying when you are breaking your fast, it's not the time to go and carry a tub of ice cream. Start with whole food first. When you have eaten the whole food, they will make you satisfied. And then you will now be able to maybe treat yourself with maybe a bar of chocolate or something. But like I said, knowing what calories are in the food you're eating, knowing your macros will help you. Now for Debo, Abi Deyo, the reason why you have hunger pangs is because when people do portion control, they start and they are extremely restrictive. Your body is used to a particular amount. Your body, especially your stomach, it's like a muscle and it has expanded. All of a sudden, you want to say, just eat this small one. Your stomach is going to react. So the trick behind portion control is that you can actually eat the same portions, but they are less calories. So add bulk to that portion control. So you have reduced the rice, put plenty vegetables. So your body feels full and it does not start having hunger. When you eat meals that are whole and nutrition, you feel satisfied and you don't tend to get hungry. The reason why most people, not every time, but most people snack is because they didn't eat proper food in beginning. Remember I said whole food. Now, something about glucose and carbs. Carbs are good for us, they are our primary source of energy. But when you are taking carbs, try and take carbs that are complex carbs. When you take carbs that are just simple carbs and they raise your blood glucose, you will have what you call an insulin surge, and then your blood glucose will crash and you start having hunger pangs. That's why some people will say, I ate a bowl of cereal in the morning and by 12 o'clock you're already hungry. That's because the kind of food you are eating, they would fill you at that moment, but in 2 to 3 hours, they will make you hungry. So the trick is that always in the morning, always start your food, your breakfast with a protein meal. Something that has protein that will make you full. Protein is the best when it comes to satiety. And because your body knows that he needs protein, until you eat that protein, it will continue to make you hungry. That's why you eat
Mm.
rice. So you just realize I just it's because the normal mechanism in your body say I need protein, I need protein. So anything to for you to be eating. But there you can message me so I can also give you some more tips.
There, you feel free to message our head girl. She's going to respond. But do you know what you said now is so profound? The reason why a lot of people, first of all, it looks like you have an issue with ice cream. There are people who love ice cream on this show.
No, please, by all means, have ice cream. However, precious. You know what we're saying is that we're not saying don't have ice cream. We're saying can we replace this ice cream with
It's
better alternative?
something else, yeah.
Do you know there are low calorie ice creams? You can that will give you the exact same taste but low calorie. Do you know you can make your ice cream at home with strawberry and all that? There is an equipment called those that have Ninja blenders. It's called Ninja Creamy. That thing will turn anything into ice cream. That's you yourself will wonder, is this ice cream or is not ice cream? So we're saying, how can we find a way around the ice cream that we love to eat? There are healthier versions of it. And even if you want to eat the one that is the conch one, is okay, but portion wise. So make sure you are eating your food. And that craving you have for the ice cream, if you are well, if you are satisfied with food, even if you take 2 or 3 spoons, it will satisfy that craving and you won't need to binge on it. What happens is that people are hungry and then you carry ice cream. So one scoop turns to 2 scoops, 2 scoops turns to 3 scoops, 3 scoops turns to the whole bowl because you can't stop. So let's be smart about this. You can have the ice cream at the end. So you always start with your protein, your carbs, and then you can leave the sweet things towards the end. And it doesn't have to be every day, but don't deny yourself because your body will also react and say, me, I've not had ice cream for this while. I want to go on, some kind of attack.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There's a question on the comment section, but before I ask that question, what do you think about intermittent fasting? On the internet, there's the hype about intermittent fasting. People say breakfast is the most important meal of the day, and there are a group of people that say breakfast isn't the most important meal of the day. You can do without breakfast. What's your view on intermittent fasting? Bear in mind that Yemis is also a medical doctor, so she's coming from every angle, from a fitness coach, from a medical doctor, from also a mom, from someone who's experienced loss as well, because it's a passion. I like when people come from a place of passion. It speaks a lot, and when they speak, you just know that this is not a crammed work. This is not something they went on Google to read up. It's something that they actually live by. So what would you say about intermittent fasting before we ask the question on the comment section?
Yes, for intermittent fasting is good, for depending on what your goal is. If it's for weight loss, it's good. However, a lot of people out there, intermittent fasting is actually it goes beyond just weight loss. It goes to things like longevity because our body is designed for adversity. If you look at the hunter gatherers, those days when there was no technology and all that, people had to forage, go days or hours to go and look for food. So our body was not constantly eating. So when your body is constantly eating, you are not giving your body any challenge and you do not activate some pathways in your body. So some people actually fast to promote longevity, to reverse aging. So depend on your goal. But when it comes to fasting, always know what works for you and you have to start slowly. If you know that you have not fasted, it doesn't make sense to do 24 hours fast. You can start with the 12 hours fast, 12 hours eating window, move from 16 hours to 8 hours, then 20 hours to 4 hours, depending on what works for you. However, for those of us in the climb where we come from, maybe church and all that, we're fasting for religious reasons. It's okay, it's also fine. But listen to your body. Know what, like understand how your body is. But I fast a lot. I do intermittent fasting. Right now I'm fasting. Even after the 100 days, I will still do intermittent fasting. It works for me. However, depending on your goal, I wouldn't say don't do it and I wouldn't say do it, but know what you are doing and go into it gradually. Go into it with information. The fact that you are fasting doesn't mean you should not eat all the food that you have not eaten in the 12 hours. You just have to, I don't know, exercise wisdom.
Yeah, that's very true. Thank you so much. Because I remember one of the days I was having a chat with a Muslim guy, and he was saying that during the Ramadan,
Yeah.
that you would think that they should be losing weight, but people put on more weight during Ramadan than
Yeah.
normal, you know. So when you think about that, you just know that it's because the portion they are eating, the kind of food they are eating. One of the experiences I've had personally is that when I eat a carbohydrate contained food, right, what happens is that I tend to feel very heavy and like I've swallowed a big stone, right? But when I eat food that is rich in, let me say, a lot of salad, I've got my avocado. I love avocado. A lot of salad, avocado. Then maybe one piece of salmon by the side. Now, if you look at that bowl, it might be a massive bowl of salad. It looks big, but when you finish eating it, you're like, you feel you're full, but you're very light
Yeah.
compared to eating carbohydrate. And this is just experience, and I guess that's exactly what you said now. So it's very important we know what we are eating and also listen to our body. And because I know a lot of people are fasting now. Now, going back to fasting, there's a question on the comment section by OG. She said, how do we exercise while fasting? I generally want to start trimming down, but the fast is keeping me. In addition to this as well, because I just concluded a long fast as well. And I know that there are a couple of my friends that kept going to the gym, and of course you go to the gym, you know the kind of exercise you do at the gym because you know you're fasting. But one thing that they noticed was that they kept getting tired and tired and tired to the point that they decided, you know what, they're not going to go to the gym anymore. They'll just hang on. So, is it safe to go to the gym when fasting? That's the question.
Yes, you can actually you can exercise in a fasted state, but like I said, know your body. I exercise these 100 days. I'm exercising not every day. I exercise 3 times a week based on the structure that I have, and then I take at least 10,000 steps every day, even though I'm fasting. Now, when it comes to exercise, you can actually exercise in a fasted state. However, if you have not done it before, you have to be careful. You need to do it gradually so you can introduce light exercises and then gradually work your way up into the exercise. But you can actually exercise in a fasted state. But just like I said, start small. Don't just go and attack, the equipment when you know you are fasting. And another thing you can do is that you can push your exercise depending on your schedule. I prefer to exercise in the morning, and I recommend that people exercise in the morning. Not that you can't exercise in the evening, but the benefit you get from exercise in the morning, apart from the fact that you're trying to build muscle or lose weight, you release what you call endorphins. These are feel good hormones, brain derived neurotrophic factors. These hormones will actually make you have so much energy to kind of go and crush your day and crush your goals, and you're on top of the world when you exercise in the morning. Like, that high you get, from exercise, or people that exercise, they know what I mean. However, if you are fasting and you really want to exercise, you can also move your exercise towards the end, not too late, but if maybe like 5 p.m., do it so that you know that, okay, after I finish my exercise and I break. That could be a way around it. But you can't exercise in the fastest state. We have people do it all the time. But like I said, do it gradually and just seek consult if you need help. Ask for help. And that's one thing about health and fitness. Nobody should do
From
it alone.
from my experience of fasting, 5 o'clock is when I'm tired. I honestly don't want to do nothing. I just want to pray and break my fast. And I guess there are a lot of people that would be like me as well. Because, and another thing I was going to ask is, I've seen a research where they said it's actually better for women to go to the well, do exercises in the morning than in the evening. I will find that research and I will put it somewhere on
Yeah.
the video. And it was a lady as well, a Dr. Mendel on YouTube.
Yeah, I
She
know
did
her.
that research herself, right? So she said it's better, and for me, I prefer going to the gym in the morning. There's this feeling that you just get, like it's almost like you're ready to face the day. Bring
Yeah,
it on.
absolutely.
There's actually nothing that you cannot do. You're ready to face whatever is at work, whatever is, bring it, let
Yeah.
us face it. And I also find that because it's harder for me to go to the gym in the morning because of everything, family, kids, and all of that, I do go to the gym in the evenings. But when I come back, I am so awake. I am so ready to do something. And at the same time, I want to go to bed.
Yeah.
It almost like the gym wakes me up. So,
Yeah.
what would you say to me, who I feel like I don't have the time to go to the gym in the morning? The times I have to go to the gym is in the evening, but at the same time, when I go to the gym and come back, I'm like, okay, I want to sleep, but my brain is telling me you're not ready to sleep. What do I do?
So for you, I mean, it's something you have to find a balance. So if I, when we talk about sleep and sleep hygiene, one of the things we recommend for people that are trying to sleep better is try to do your workouts. Don't do your workouts close to time when you go to bed, because it actually keeps you alert, like you've experienced. So you just have to find a balance. Maybe go to your gym. How often? First of all, how many times are you exercising a week? You don't need to exercise every day. If you have a good program, you can exercise 3 times a week, and I recommend
It's
that
3 times,
for
yeah.
my clients. 3 times a week of exercise, but in between those days, you are now making sure you're hitting your steps, your step goals. So that also makes it a bit easier. But like when it comes to exercise, you kind of have to find what works for you based on your situation. You can exercise at home. You don't have to go to the gym. I love going to the gym. I've always been to the gym, but because of the situation, I've been able to adjust to doing my exercise at home, and I've been able to walk through it. It took a while for me to get into that rhythm, but I've been able to find that it works for me as well. So if you want to decide which one is more important to you, sleeping on time or exercising in the evening, do I want to move my exercise to the morning so that I can sleep on time? Because sleep is actually very important. Do you know that sleep, when it comes to belly fat, sleep is one of the most crucial um, um, factor to belly fat. You can literally actually gain belly fat when you don't sleep well. People don't know. You can try it. The day you sleep well, check your waist. The day you don't sleep well, check your waist. You'll be amazed that you will see the difference in the size of your of belly fat. Yeah,
Right, okay. All of us that are on this table, we need to be going to bed on time. Okay.
absolutely.
Now, it's easier said than done. Again, I
Absolutely.
like to use myself as an example. I have two questions. They're all different questions. There are people like me who, when you go to bed, that's when you now start thinking about all the things that you haven't done that you need to do, and all the things that you need to do for the next day, and all the things that you've achieved. So for me, bedtime, before I sleep, I take note of mental note of everything I've done the day, what I need to. It's almost like I'm doing a
Wind
what
down.
do you call it, lessons learned for the day
Yeah.
for me.
Journaling.
Journaling in my brain, I do this every single night, and I think it helps me a lot because it helps me to know what I'm going to be doing better, what I've done wrong, I need to do better for the next day. It takes me a long time to sleep, that's the truth. Now secondly, when I sleep, I can hear everything happening around me. I am such a light sleeper, and
Okay.
that's why when I sleep, when I finally sleep, somebody wakes me up and I'm like, oh God, I'm going to start this ritual all over again because I can't just fall. There are people that as soon as they enter the bed, they're like straight
Yeah.
away. I think God blessed men like that. I think it's a man thing. I don't know anyway. So
Really?
what would you say to me who I find it difficult to sleep on time, and when I do, I sleep
Wake up
light,
with
and secondly, I'm on the table of, I go to the gym. If you see me, you know I'm fit, but the belly fat, and I think it might even be this thing that is the problem. So that's one question. The other question is, I have a friend who went to the GP, and the GP said to her, all those things you're walking about from one corner of the house to the other corner of the house, you're just pottering about. It's not exercise. And she was like, how can you say, because when she checks her watch, she's done 10,000 steps. The
yeah.
GP said to her, you're just pottering about, that's not the kind of workout or step that there is. So what would you say to that? Because we are now going into debunking some myths that a lot of people have held. So
Yeah.
if you can speak to these two questions, then we
Okay.
can now talk about the different myths that people have held very closely to their hearts, but obviously not correct. Thank you.
Okay, so about sleep, the thing about sleep is that you need to practice what we call sleep hygiene. So for people that, and it's not only you, a lot of people are on this table, struggle with sleep. You need to find a way to fix it. So there's the 10-3-2-1 rule. If you don't remember, I like to use things that people can remember. 10-3-2-1. 10 hours before you sleep, you stop taking caffeine, because caffeine has a half-life. And the half-life of caffeine is, I think, is 6 hours, or is it 4 hours? I'm not too sure. But if you take caffeine, if you sleep by 10 in the night, if that's your sleep time, that means by 12 in the day, you must stop taking caffeine. If you want to drink your coffee, drink it before 12 because it's going to impact your sleep. So that is the 10. 3 hours before you sleep, no food. Because if you eat 3 hours, less than 3 hours to sleep, your body is also digesting the food. So you will not allow you to sleep well. 2 hours before you sleep, no water. Because a lot of people, especially the older you are, those of us that are in our 30s and 40s, our bladders are not as strong as it is, or it could be. However, there are exercises that you can do, Kegel exercises that will help. But you tend to pee in the night, wake up in the night and pee. And a lot of people, once they wake up in the night to pee, they struggle to sleep back. Me, I am graced. Even if I pee 10 times, I go back, I sleep. 1 hour before you sleep, no screen. I think if anybody is going to realize or going to get benefit from getting better sleep, is the exposure to screen. You see this light that comes from screen, from our phones, from our devices, blue light, it actually impacts the secretion of melatonin. And melatonin is what your brain will release to say it is time to sleep. But this screen is telling your body that it's not time to sleep. And so melatonin is not released, and people struggle with sleep. If you know you have to be on your device because that's the nature of your work, please get blue light blocking glasses. My glasses have, they are not this one, but they have blue light inside them. So get blue light blocking glasses so that even if you need to be on your phone as a matter of necessity, you are blocking the light and your body can start to secrete melatonin. Now, have a nightly routine. Like Precious has said, I would take out all the things in my mind. Some people it can be meditation, some people it can be warm bath, some people it can be stretches, anything to relax you. Make sure your room is only for sleep. Some people inside their bedroom, they have office. Inside their bedroom, they have different things. Once your bedroom is more for sleep and the other routines, it's going to be a problem. So and then even when you are charging your devices, a lot of people charge their devices in their room. Do you know those devices that emit those blue light? They actually impact your sleep. They impact your sleep. So you are not able to sleep well. So you need to have a night routine. And sleep is something you need to prioritize. If you get woken up easily, you can actually have a white noise device. White noise devices will mask every other noise, so you can actually sleep better. So these are the things that you can actually put into place to make sure that you sleep better. But sleep is also important. So what was the second thing you said I should talk about?
So the pottering about and the
Oh,
exercising.
the myth. I don't know which GP said that, and I beg to differ. Exercise is important, but movement is equally more important. Now, there's something called, and you guys can search it out. It's called NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. These are the activities that you do outside of a structured workout session. These activities actually burn more calories than your exercise session when it comes to the way your body burns calories. So there's something called basal metabolic rate. There's something called thermic effect of food. That's the food you are eating and the energy that is used to digest the food. Protein has the best thermic effect. So that's why one of the reasons why you should eat protein and prioritize protein. Then your exercise that you go to do in the gym. Then these non-exercise activity thermogenesis, they burn more calories than even the exercise. So the GP that said that she's not doing exercise because she's moving around, I do not agree, except the exercise is for a particular reason. Maybe they are targeting maybe to a particular muscle. Though, so that means if you are moving around, of course, you're not training your muscle. So that I hear that. But NEAT is so powerful that even people, that's why they encourage people to walk their dogs in this environment. So walking your dogs, moving around in the house, vacuuming. I had a friend back in school, and I used to visit her house. And her mom, when I go to the house, the mom is always sweeping the parlor and all. And I say, "Ma, culturally where we're from, when an adult is doing work, you want to help her." She'll say, "No, this is my own exercise." In my mind, I used to understand. I used to wonder, how can this woman be saying this is her own exercise? I didn't know about it. The woman, she was also a doctor then. She was my friend's mom, but she was a doctor. She understood the power of those things. So some of us, we have become so big now. Our children are the one doing all the work in the house. Yes, I know you want your children to be responsible, but don't forget these activities actually help you to move around. So divide the chores. Your children can be doing some. You can also be doing some, just because you don't want to sit out at home not doing anything, or go for a walk. In that walk, you can be listening to a podcast while you go for a walk. You can listen to an audio book. You can go with your spouse. It can be your me time, your gisting time. So you can use those walks as, you can combine it with things. I'm just saying we need to move more. If you work from home, I work from home, 100% from home. For those of you at this table, please stop sitting at your desk all the time. It is not good, it's not healthy. Get a standing desk, get a standing desk so that you stand for some meetings and then you sit down in between. I don't have a standing desk. I made a makeshift. I have a carton. I put my laptop on top, and I stand for my meeting. So when I'm working, I try to stand from 9 a.m. to at least 12 o'clock before I sit down. Sometimes I take it to 1, I take to 2. You actually you burn more calories standing than sitting down. So these are some of the ways that
Wow.
you can incorporate all these activities into your life. But to
Yes.
say that, person, please tell her to please continue to spot her around. However, if there's a particular exercise that she needs to do, maybe for a particular part of her body, I agree. But she should not stop that, please. She should not.
Yeah, thank you so much. That actually is so important. Just to share another experience as well. You know, when you talked about the stand-up desk, it's so important. Recently invested in one, and before I did that, I always had, you know, there's some kind of work that you'll be so engrossed in that you sit for literally 3 hours. You won't even know you
Yeah.
sat for 3 hours because you're that into what you're doing. And I began to experience symptoms that were just not. I'll go to the GP. GP will say, I don't understand this your symptom that you're telling us. What's going on? And inside my head, the Holy Spirit is like, Precious, you need to buy a stand-up desk and stop this
Mm.
going to the GP. And I bought a stand-up desk. And also, when I go to the office, if I'm not booking a stand-up desk, I'm not going to the office. So it has to be a stand-up desk I'm going to book before I
Wow.
go into the office. So it's so important. I can't even tell you the changes and the what I've experienced so far having a stand-up desk. It's amazing. And while you're standing, you can do some exercises as well, you know, while you're standing, having those meetings and all of that. There's a lot of things that you can do. And for people who experience this if it's not an infectious disease called, is it plan something that has to do with your feet, I'm not sure what's
Plantar
called, they
fasciitis.
yes, I know there's some exercises as well that you need to do while you're standing that could also help. Now at this point, there is a question there which we're going to address, but we need to go on a short break. When we come back, we would introduce our next show. In fact, you don't even want to miss the next show. Let's go on a short break. We'll be back. Right, we are back. Thank you so much for that short break. I hope you've had taken a nice cup of water or something to just get you going. We are wrapping up not very soon. Um, but I want to tell you what we're going to be doing next time on this show. Now, if you don't know, we'll have our shows twice a month. The second show is actually the last weekend of the month, and the first show is the second weekend of the month. So the second weekend of the month is where we have guests that will just come or have chats, conversation around different experiences of life. And the final one is where we bring like the professionals that would come and talk. Like Yemisi is a professional, she's a coach, a fitness coach. The last conversation we had was around friendship, and you guys can tell that that conversation was beautiful. Auntie Joy did a lot of justice to that. Now the next show we're going to be having is about what your teenage child really wants to tell you. Now this is
Mm.
not just a teenager but preteen as well. So if you have a child from the age of 10 and above, you don't want to miss the show, because the person that will be on the show with us is someone who has been working closely with teenagers and preteens, and she has heard so much that her heart is literally broken. And this is also to speak to people who are trying to relocate to the UK. A lot of people move to the UK and not think about the impact relocating to the UK or even other parts of the world would have on their children. You know, when you move to a new place as an adult, you're like, oh, I don't have any friend, I don't have anybody to speak to. It's almost like that anxiety, you get it as an adult, someone who is grown. Think about the anxiety that your child would also have. So we're going to have someone on the show. She's going to tell us a lot of her experiences, what people have been telling her and all of that. You don't want to miss it. The flyer is going to be coming out soon. That's going to be, I think, on the 8th of February. Then the next show, in fact, let's not rush. Let me get Yemisi back, because my head is full. The shows that are lined up, you need to subscribe to this channel. You need to follow us on Instagram and on Facebook, because the shows are just going to be life transformational for everybody, including myself. Let me give you a sneak peek of the show that is coming up end of February. We're bringing a GP to come and teach us how to, you know, when you call and say, oh, I can't get appointment, every time I call my GP I can't get appointment, or every time I go see my GP they will tell me take paracetamol and drink water. She's going to be coming to tell us the way you can speak to your GP, the kind of questions that you should be asking, the kind of appointments that you would make, the way you will speak to the receptionist so that you can get your appointment. This is just a sneak peek. You don't want to miss it. So I've told you the two shows that we're going to be having in February. You don't want to miss it. Thank you so much, MC, for sitting back and listening to me. Right, the next question I have here is from Morayo. She said, hi everyone, please doctor, what advice would you have for those working permanent night shift? This is so important. Thank you so much for this question. MC, please.
Yes. So I was going to add, when Precious was talking about standing desk, that you could also add a walking pad to your standing desk. You can get a walking pad and take walks while you're having your meeting. Make it very slow, and you would actually take it to the next level. So Mariah, it's very interesting that you asked this question, because I have I have a free platform where I have women over 40s and we talk about health and fitness, and I have a coaching program. So on the free platform, we talked about sleep for shift workers, because it is such a big issue. Now, so for those of you that work night shift, I empathize with you. I know it's a phase and it will pass very soon, but you need to prioritize sleep. In fact, the lady told me that she can't even sleep. She just sleeps 3 hours and she has woken up. I'm like, 3 hours every day, that's all? She said that's all. I'm like, okay, we need to address this. So what I tell them is that when it comes to shift workers, you need to have a routine for sleep. For days you're on shift and for days you're not on shift. Sleep has to be a priority to you, particularly because you are working night shift. Because your body is going to want to not sleep during the day, and it's called the circadian rhythm. Because anytime there's light exposure, your body wants to be awake, but that is when you want to sleep. So one of the things you can do for night shift workers is have a time you sleep at every day. Have a regular time sleep, and let everybody in the family know. Let people know they can't reach you at that time. Put your phone away. Very important. The second thing is that when you're on night shift, a lot of people on night shift eat a lot of food. When you eat a lot of heavy meals during your night shift, it impacts on your sleep when you get home. So eat your meals during the day when you wake up before you start your night shift. And if you need to eat any food at the night shift, make sure it's something light. Now, when you are going home from the night shift, put on dark sunglasses so that your eyes does not get in a lot of light into your eyes. If your eyes absorbs a lot of light, you will find it difficult to sleep when you get home. So these are some of the things you need to do. Put on your sunglasses when you are going home from night shift. When you get home, make sure you get blackout curtains for your room. Your room has to mimic nighttime as much as possible. So invest in blackout curtains. Get curtains that will block out every form of light from your room. Very important. Make your room cool. Not warm, but cool, because when you reduce the temperature of your room, you tend to sleep better. I know the tendency for us to want to put on the heater all the time. Yes, it's cold. However, that cold is just for a few minutes. You will actually sleep better when your room is colder. And then, like I mentioned earlier, if you have white noise, because during the day there's a lot of noise going around, so the tendency for you to wake up because of all the noises there, get a white noise maker, or you can Google white noise or YouTube. So these are sounds that will actually help you to sleep better during the day. But I know it's a big issue for people that work on shift,
Yeah.
and you can please send me a message and we can talk more about it.
All of you that are asking these questions, please reach out to Yemisi for if you need help, because you can't be doing this work and not looking after yourself. It's
Absolutely.
very important. And one of the habits that most people have is they work, 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 work. They can spend the money on other people, and when it comes to themselves, they start thinking about, okay, this £5, if I convert it to naira, is 10,000 naira, and all of that. So you need to prioritize yourself. It's very important. You need to prioritize
Absolutely.
yourself. I know that at some point I'm going to get someone to come on this show and speak to health workers specifically, because there has been so many issues where people have lost a couple of people as well, from I think there's this myth around, when you have work permit on your visa, it means that you should work and work and work. So this is just me saying, please look after yourself. It's hard, it's very difficult. We've all done it. Everybody has been on that table at one point or the other in their life. But look after yourself, very important. Now, tying to this question, I was going to ask something around, is there a specific time one should eat? And is there a particular kind of food that will promote good sleep for people who have issue around sleep?
Okay. So I like this quote when we were talking to healthcare workers by Robin Sharma, and he says, health is the crown on the well person's head that only the sick person can see. I'll take it again. Health is the crown on the well person's head that only the sick person can see. What that means is that we often take health for granted. People that are ill, they are looking at healthy people and like, oh, how I wish. But those of us that are healthy, we don't cherish the health. We don't protect it. We don't guard it. We don't optimize it. We just take it for granted. And then when we fall ill, we now go the other way. So please, like Precious said, health is priority. Please prioritize your health. Now, when it comes to the kind of food and the timing of food when you want to sleep, like I mentioned the 10-3-2-1 rule. 3 hours before sleep, no more food. So any food you want to eat, 3 hours. So if you sleep by 9, by 6 p.m., no more food. If you sleep by 10, by 7 p.m., no more food. That's like the, so you can eat anything from 7, before 7, that's fine. Then you've heard this statement, breakfast like a king, lunch like a prince, dinner like a pauper. Eat your health, your bigger meals during the day. Even if you're stopping eating at 6, don't now load your body with one massive meal at 6. I can appreciate for those that are fasting because the fasting period, but you can also be strategic about the kind of food you eat. So going to the timing, I've talked about timing, the kind of food, prioritize whole nutritious food. Precious mentioned anytime she eats carb, she feels very heavy. So instead of eating a very carb-rich food, still eat some carb, but more of protein that will satisfy you, and you will be able to sleep better. And then vegetables and fiber, so that your body is not struggling to digest that food. You will find it very difficult to sleep. So sleep 3 hours, stop eating 3 hours before food. Then prioritize food that are whole food, not processed food, and not very heavy, if you
Yeah.
can, as much as possible.
Thank you so much for that. Let's talk about some myths that a lot of people have carried, especially we that are from Africa. Okay, do you have things that you've heard either randomly based on your coaching, your experience, that you think, wow, is this what's going on out there? Are there things that you need to debunk tonight to tell people, look, this is the truth and this is not truth. This is the fact, and this is the myth that you need to know about around exercise, around food, around well-being, and in general. And after that, we're going to touch a little bit on menopause, um, food. I know you've talked about exercise, menopause, and all of that. We're going to talk about, because I know that people who experience menopause, sleep is one of the things that they struggle with as well. And of course, temperature and all of that. I've heard all of that kind of thing. But we need to touch base on what kind of food that would support people that are experiencing menopause. But let's take the first question first.
There are so many myths around health and fitness. So let's pick exercise, for example. A lot of people believe that if I don't do cardio, I can't lose weight. So, I mean, it's a very wrong, approach to exercise, because cardio is good, but if you do too much cardio, it becomes stressful. Your body will actually, you will start getting inflammation, and it's going to be it's going to go against your fitness goals. If you exercise too much, you will have a lot of high levels of cortisol, and cortisol is a stress hormone, and then you will not, that would help you to, that will hold on to the fat. So cardio is not the only way to lose weight. In fact, I dare say you don't need to do much cardio. Focus on strength training. There's also another myth. If I lift weight, I'm going to have developed muscle for women like a man. I don't want to become a man. No. I don't want to be bulky. Oh. You cannot become a man. You don't have the hormones. You need to have a lot of high level of testosterone for you to develop that kind of
Muscle.
muscle. So please let us stop that myth. You won't develop you won't become muscular. You will turn up and you will look good. So if weight loss is part of your goals for fitness, maybe one of your fitness, I want to lose weight, incorporate strength exercises. Because if you just say, oh, I just want to focus on my food so that I can cut down my calorie, be in calorie deficit and lose weight, yes, you will lose weight, but you will develop what we call skinny fat. You'll be looking tired, you'll be looking drunk, people will be wondering what's wrong with you. That's because you are losing fat, you're also losing muscle.
Muscle.
When you want to lose weight, so we talk about weight loss because it is the commonest term. It's actually fat loss we want. We don't want weight loss, we want fat loss. We want to lose fat and prevent muscle loss. When it comes to nutrition, there are so many myths around it. People say that you have to eat six times a day. There was a time people were saying you have to eat frequently. Some people, like you said, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Some people come and say it's intermittent fasting. Do you understand? So there's so many things that are out there. But what I'm saying is that there's a lot of information out there, and you have to be able to learn how to sift through the noise. Many of them are things that we've just passed on from, generations, old wife fables. They are not true. You don't have to eat 6 times to eat healthy. Some of
But do
us,
you but do you have to? Because someone said it's 3 square meal. Even if three is not a square, it's a rectangle, right? Do we have to? Because I am quite into the food. The food I eat is so important to me than anything around me, clothes and all of that. I am one of those people who believe that eat when you're hungry. Don't eat because it's morning. They say you should eat in the morning. They say you must eat in the afternoon. They say you must eat in the evening. It's almost like you have to do what people said, not because you're hungry. Because I find out that I personally can't eat 3 times a day. I don't know how people do it, right? I don't know how you can eat in the morning. You eat, let's say 7, 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock, you're still even sleeping. Okay, let's say you eat 10 o'clock, then you not eat 2 o'clock, then you not eat. How are you eating this kind of food? I don't understand. So is it important for people to actually eat when they are hungry, or eat 3 times a day, like they say?
so it depends. So for somebody that, the way we metabolize food is different. You know, some people that they can eat everything, and then you're
Mm.
wondering where do you eat all this food? There are some people, they will just see pizza and just smell pizza. They'll say, I think I've added 1 kg just by looking at that pizza. So you need to understand people's were different. However, when it comes to eating, depending on your goal, if you are somebody that you struggle with hunger a lot, I would say if you eat when you're hungry, there's a tendency to overeat. Some people, when they eat when hungry, they end to eat and eat and eat and eat. So some people, you might need to structure your meal so that you teach your body when to eat. Now, the reason why some people cannot eat 3 times a day is because maybe the meals are very, very large. So some people maybe just taking maybe Greek yogurt, in the evening with some fruits. That's a meal. But some people just say it's a snack. Anyone you want to call it. So even if you have that as maybe one of the meals, you have a main meal, and then you have maybe something intermediate, it's fine. But if you are always hungry before you eat, there's a tendency, if you are not very disciplined, to overeat. That's why people will take one portion and they'll say, this one it will not do me. Oh. I have
Mm.
to take another one. But if you teach your body, there's something called the rhythm of the body. If you eat on schedule, for people that have issue with hunger, eating on schedule can actually help. And please, I've said here that obesity has been recognized as a disease condition. There's some people,
Mm.
their brain, and that's why there's Ozempic, there's Monjaro, all these GLP-1 drugs.
Mm.
I mean, there's a lot of noise out there. There are people that they call it food noise. Is a thing. When all they are thinking about is food. When they're eating one food, they're thinking about the next meal. is actually a real thing. So what is the message here? Don't try and do it alone. Don't be struggling. You know, there's this sense of, if I go and meet somebody, I have to do it on my own. Everybody needs help. We all have coaches. I'm sure Derek can say we have a parent coach, we have marriage coaches, we have coaches for our children. The same way when it comes to health and fitness, find help, seek help. Don't do it alone. If you know that you struggle with hunger, you struggle with what is called food noise. That's are always thinking about food. You are wondering what people are saying. And you think people feel like you think it's an act of indiscipline. Sometimes it might not be. It might be your brain. There's some pathways in your brain that make some people eat more and have more fat. Some people eat less and they have less fat. That's why they can eat everything they like. And you eat and you can't. Seek help, seek counsel. Let people help you how you can navigate this. But really, it depends on, I mean, for some people, if they wait when they're hungry, trust me, some people can eat a whole pack of spaghetti. Sure,
Wow.
that's, yes, I know people that can do that.
Wow.
So you
Wow.
have to understand yourself, know
Yeah.
thyself.
I think the main message here is know yourself, right? And that's actually my next question is, what's your main message? Now, we've talked about so many things. If you have to sum it up in a message, right? What would you say? What's your main message in everything that you've just talked about?
So my main message is when it comes to health and fitness, it should be a goal for everybody. No matter what you want to achieve in 2025 and beyond. If health and fitness is not part of it, you are going to be limited. Energy is everything. And you get energy by your physical energy, by what you eat, by how you move, and by sleep. So my main message is these three core pillars of your health and fitness, you have to prioritize it. Energy and movement, food and nutrition, whole foods, and then sleep and recovery. So if you don't take anything away, take away these three things. I need to prioritize my exercise and movement. I need to be mindful of how I eat and what I eat. And then sleep and recovery must be important to me. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much. So, guys, if you're still here watching us, I would like you to do us a favor and just press that like button on Facebook, on YouTube, because that's one thing that you can actually do for us. Know that you're getting this masterclass for free. If you have to go speak to Yemisi on your own privately, you're going to pay a lot of money, and in pounds. This is not in naira. You're paying in pounds. So give us a like button. Sorry, give us a like. Press the like button. Actually, give us a like. That's one way you can actually help us to. So YouTube, Facebook will recommend the videos to other people. Now, the last guest that came on this show did something. Picked a question for you, which is also a ritual that we'll have on this show. But before you answer that question, I would like you to pick a question for our next guest. You
Okay.
have a question from 1 to 24. What
Okay.
question would you like the next guest to answer, please?
Question 10.
Question 10. Okay. Thank you very much for that. I am just going to highlight it to say question 10 for the next guest. Okay, so the question that was picked for you, if I can just read that out, is that okay, share one piece of advice you would give to your 20 and 30 years old self. One piece of advice.
Yes. So for my 20-year-old self, I would tell that 20-year-old self to invest in learning, to invest in growth. I started investing in my learning in my 30s. And so I would say 20-year-old self, invest in learning, invest in growth, read books, because books are their life, The where I'm going to get to is going to be dependent on the books you read, the people that you surround yourself with, and the goals that you set. So 20-year-old self, read more. The 30-year-old self, start strength training in your 30s. I did not start strength training until I was 40. So I'm going to tell my 30-year-old self, prioritize strength training in your exercise. I did a lot of cardio when I had my son. Um, 2 years after that, I went back to my pre-pregnancy weight. So I was doing a lot of cardio and I lost all the weight. I went back to my pre-pregnancy weight, and I knew that because I had a dress I was wearing before I met my husband, and I fitted into that dress. So, and I've maintained the weight. But strength training, 30-year-old, please. Strength training, strength training, strength training. So that when you get to your 40s, you are flying.
Wow. Thank you so, so much. This has been an amazing conversation. I can't even tell you how much I've learned from this. As much as, yeah, the show is coming from us, as in from me, I am learning a lot. I'm taking notes because, to be honest, when I learned about strength training, when I go to the gym, that's that's what I do mostly. I just go to the treadmill to get myself warmed up. After that, I hit my strength training, my weights and all of that. It has been an amazing conversation. Let me say it has been absolute. Can I just say you look amazing for your age as
Thank you.
well? Do you know when you said 45? I'm like, oh, really?
We want to be aging back first. That's
Oh
the
my
goal.
God, you look absolutely amazing. You do, because I've seen you in person as well. So you look absolutely amazing. Well done for keep up the good work. So if you want to reach out to Yemisi, please, she's got her page on Facebook, her page on Instagram. I'm going to be linking it up on the description section of the video on YouTube. You can contact her if you want. She's promised live on air that she's going to give you guys on this show a free consultation. That's consultation, not free coaching. Free consultation. So if you want to get that free consultation, give her a message and just say you're coming from the show, Precious Derrick Talk show. She's going to recognize that and she's going to give you that free consultation. You can't do fitness by yourself. You can't do life by yourself. Having that somebody to hold your hand, having that accountability partner as well. I know a lot of people when they were writing their New Year resolution, they added, "I want to lose 30 kg," and at this point, you're already thinking, "It looks like I'm not gonna, I can't do this thing." It's still we're still in January. The reason you can't do it is because you have set an unexpected, okay, unrealistic goal for yourself. You're doing it without the help of a professional. You're doing it all by yourself with that ginger that comes with the new year. But when you hold somebody's hand or you allow somebody to hold your hand, you would be able to surmount whatever it is that comes your way. Thank you so much, Yemisi, for the amazing conversation. I also want to say thank you to everyone. Thank you to Deo. Thank you to Vanessa. Thank you to Bethel. Thank you to OG. Thank you, Patience. Thank you, every single one that have been on the show, and to all of you as well that didn't manage to comment. I thank you. God has seen you, and I see you as well. We're going to end the show now, and we will see you on the 8th of this month, actually February. Have a fantastic evening. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.